Hey everyone, welcome back to my third day speaking challenge. This is the day 11, and in this video, I'm going to talk about an important chapter from the book's Amartya Sen's biography. As you have discussed, ouch, last couple of days, I've been started reading that particular books, and surprisingly, I have completed around 10 chapter, and right now, I'm again reading the 11th chapter, but the time being is that I'll discuss one of the most important chapter from that particular books, right? So without getting any delay, let's get started. So as we have discussed, the important chapter of the Amartya Sen's biography written by Richa Saxena, that chapter is nothing but the Great Bengal Famine, right? We need to discuss about the Great Bengal Famine. And here, as the author wrote, Amartya Sen explained that, right? Amartya Sen's idea is that the Great Bengal Famine was happens due to certain regions, and Amartya Sen himself experienced that particular event. Amartya Sen was experienced this particular event during his childhood. As we have discussed about this particular things in day 1 or 2, because when Amartya Sen was around 10 to 12 year old, there is another man called Abdul Mia. He had died in front of the Amartya Sen due to starvation, due to poverty. So Amartya Sen, when he grown up, right? When he grown up and moved to the London School of Economics, Oxford University, and many more university, and he developed himself as an economist, as a great economist. Then he started writing about this famine, and in this chapter, he vividly explained this particular concept. Right, according to him, it was the time of 1943, right? And when we're talking about the 1943, it was the it was before the independence and the during the Second World War time. And during the Second World War, and before independence, India was captured by British government, and British government was one of the active participants in the World War. India was not actively participant, but through the British, India was fighting, right? So uh, during those time, the fight between Japan and England was was there in Burma, the current Myanmar. So in that situations, Japan invade the Burma and defeat England. So in the fear of what is that? What was that? In the fear of invading India by the Japan, the British government started hoarding lots of food for their soldiers during the emergency, expected emergency. So this one of the region where food shortage was there. But Amartya Sen said this was not the exact region. And again, he told that most of the elite sections, upper class and the upper middle class, were not affected by the famine. It was the laborer, right? It was the day laborer who got mostly affected by the famine and died out of starvation, right? So, what is happening over there? It was due to the food shortage. Again, he take the example of the sharecropper and the day which day wage earner. That means the day laborer. So sharecropper were least affected by the famine in comparison to the day wage earner. You know, but when we see both of them, the sharecropper and the wage earner laborers both stands in the same ladder of the economic hierarchy, right? Despite of that, the sharecropper were least affected as compared to the day laborer, right? So why this is happening? This is happening due to the food shortage, right? Most of the day laborers did not have food during this time, but the sharecropper surprisingly get a part of their produce as the river, and he kept the food in home. And during the emergency, he used it, and they were not affected by the famine. And yes, according to Amartya Sen, the famine was due to the economic crisis, not due to the food shortage, not due to the not due to the British government's failure, not due to the other things. It was combined effect of all the things that resulted the economic crisis, and Bengal famine was completely and purely happening due to the economic crisis. And this economic crisis could be, stopped if the government wants. If the British government were interested to stop this, they might have stopped it. But they left most of the Indian people died, right? Most of the Indian people died because of the starvations of, because of the starvations are due to the food shortage. Why this food shortage is happening? British government hold, then British government make the different policy, fear, and food shortage. The price were during those time were very very high. Normal day laborers could not afford food. They started mortgaging their assets, whatever they have in their home, but that was not sufficient for them to get food. And due to the food shortage, they started dying. And the Abdul Miah who died in front of the Amartya Sen was also due to the same reason. Yes, and Amartya Sen conclude this particular famine, this starvation story, this famine story with a conclusion that with a remarkable conclusion that in a democratic government, right? In a democratic government, this could not be happen, right? If India was a democratic state, then this could not be happen because democratic government always try to give food security to their citizens. And right now, present government, we are not talking about the any party. Post-independent governments were consistently trying to provide food safety to the people, right? And we have the Food Security Act. According to them, according to the Food Security Act, nobody should uh, left. Nobody should sleep without a meal, right? Without one meal a day, right? That means nobody in India should go to sleep without having meal, right? So that was the idea of the food security. From the lessons of the Bengal famine, now we provide foods to our people. So this is all about the Bengal famine. So if you have any comments, please put it down here. And thank you everyone for watching this video till the end. If you like this video, give a thumbs up and see you in the next video. Until then, keep supporting, keep growing.